Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of Football Arena, which will delve into current issues happening on the local, regional and international football landscape. I'm Francis Nyamtsamba. On our maiden show, we'll begin by taking a look at local, regional and international news. In the second segment, we'll chat to Team Zimbabwe UK Chief Executive Marshall Gore, who gives his reaction to the AFCON draw, while in the third segment, we'll feature Zimbabwe's AFCON opponents, as well as have a look at what is being said on the various social media networks. Just to quickly get the ball rolling, attention has been on the Africa Cup of Nations draw held in Yaoundé yesterday, and after being drawn in Group B together with Senegal, Malawi and Guinea, let's hear what Warriors head coach Zdravko Logaricic has to say about the draw.
AFCON draw came and looks like so many people they were saying it's a easy group, something like that, but I think they're wrong because all of those 24 countries which came to African Cup of Nations for sure have the same goal, and for sure they have quality, and for sure the reason is there why they finished in AFCON. Group as a group, so many times in African Cup of Nations we saw some, you call them like a small teams, they give such a big challenge for you call them big teams. In our group, if you look on the paper, Senegal should be favorite. But that's only on the paper. When we come on the field, then we have to talk on the field. Paper is a paper, field is a field. It's also good we have two representatives from COSAFA countries, Malawi and Zimbabwe. And let's try, maybe in the future, maybe we'll be surprises, maybe even those two countries will also pass in second round, what will be also good for the country which we call them COSAFA. And what we have to do, we as Zimbabwe, we have to learn from our mistakes we made before, especially in the last AFCON tournament. That means we need to be just focused on the football. We need to be prepared properly. We need to finish things much earlier then preparation will start for AFCON tournament. That means when we come up there, we shouldn't have any issues. We should just be focused on football. And I think all the time we were saying we have golden generation, but it's time now to golden generation to show the gold. And I'm very sure, I'm very positive. We will do something better than most of people are expecting. Let's go step by step. Step by step means let's first try to pass the group properly. That will be first success or first step. Then we have to look for the second step, for the third step, for the fourth step, or for even more. We must respect all of those clubs, not clubs, all of those nations, because they are in AFCON with a reason, because they have a quality, but we will not give them over respect. That means fully respect, like we're gonna give for Senegal. Also the same fully respect we have to give to Malawi and to Guinea. Quality is on our side. That's what we think. But also the same thinking is in other countries. And I want us personally to show the best what we can show. I want us to make success. I want us to first to pass group stage. I want us to make our football lovers happy. And I want us to produce result which we never produced before. We were going to work very hard on it. But also we have to be a unit which will go together. That means unit together with media behind us, together with supporters behind us, together with technical bench, together with players, and we have to create positive atmosphere which will give us wind in our back. We must feel support, all of us. We must feel how much you are trusting us.
Now moving on, the Zimbabwe football fraternity continues to mourn the death of former Caps United midfielder Joe Mugabe, who passed away on the 8th of this month. The process of the repatriation of Joe Mugabe's body is underway, with the family of the four-time Soccer Star of the Year winner engaged in efforts to ensure Mugabe's body is buried back home in Zimbabwe. Now, the Zim SoccerNet crew caught up with Mugabe's former teammate, who highlighted the influential role played by the former Makepekepe midfielder in bringing glory to the Green Machine.
I thought he was a very, very good leader within the group. I joined Cape United sometime in '95 when Joe was the captain, and we went on to do well together as a team in 1996 when we won the league and several cup competitions. Yeah, it's not by coincidence that a team that does well in competition obviously you need to have a very good leader within the group, and at that time we happened to have one within the playing staff, and Joe happened to be the leader. So I think it was not by coincidence, but rather by design, that when you have a leader within the group, then you stand a very good chance of doing very, very well. And what quickly comes to mind is the fact that Joe would do what coaches are expected to do, rallying his troops, making sure he takes care of the needs of the players.
Now, FC Platinum on Monday returned to training after being given the green light to do so by the Sports and Recreation Commission ahead of their participation in the CAF Champions League. The Platinum Miners will meet Angolan champion Sagrada Esperança in the preliminary round of Africa's Premier Club competition. Now, with FC Platinum having been inactive for months heading into the two-legged clash against the Angolans, performance analyst Kudzi Chitima speaks about the challenge that lies ahead for FC Platinum.
So very difficult in football terms, because usually pre-season is 6 weeks, standard pre-season is at least 6 weeks, but here they have to do everything from physical training, strength and conditioning, tactics, all that they are going to do it in 3 weeks instead of 6. So it's going to be so very difficult for them, especially also considering that the team that they are playing just recently finished their league about 2 weeks ago.
Now, just to take a look at Zimbabwean players plying their trade abroad, Kama Billiard at the weekend edged closer towards reaching a century of goals in South Africa after a fine strike against Mamelodi Sundowns helped Kaizer Chiefs level matters in the MTN 8. Amakosi went on to lose the game 2-1 on penalties, but a brilliant finish by Billiard sees him now 10 goals shy of reaching 100 goals. Billiard's South African adventure began with Ajax Cape Town, where some top performances caught the eye of Mamelodi Sundowns. At Masandawana, Billiard was part of the popular CBD combination, which helped steer the Brazilians to domestic glory, as well as a maiden CAF Champions League triumph in 2016. With the CBD partnership having been reassembled at Kaizer Chiefs, Billiard will now be hoping the understanding he had with Dolly and Castro can be reignited and possibly help him reach a century of goals. We now move on to the international football scene, where Bayern Munich overcame Borussia Dortmund 3-1 in the German Super Cup. Bayern Munich, who went into the Super Cup on Monday having won 6 of the previous 11 trophies, made it 7 in 12, thanks to a brilliant performance which asserted their dominance. A brace by Robert Lewandowski and another goal by Thomas Müller was enough to hand the German Giants a comfortable 3-1 win. Moving on, Romelu Lukaku has vowed to live up to his £97.5 million transfer fee after seeing his dream of returning to Chelsea come true. The Belgium striker has unfinished business at Chelsea after leaving them for Everton 7 years ago, and is determined to help Thomas Tuchel's side challenge for the Premier League title. Lukaku played a key role in Inter Milan winning the Serie A last season and is raring to go before facing Arsenal on Sunday. Lukaku, who has taken the number 9 shirt after Tamim Abraham's £34 million move to Roma, honed his game during his 2 years under Antonio Conte at Inter. Lukaku believes that winning the Champions League last season shows that Chelsea are mature enough to compete for the title. On that note, we have come to the end of our new segment. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Football Arena, a show which delves into what's happening on the football front. Now, following the AFCON draw which was held in Yaoundé, Cameroon on Tuesday evening, we link up with Team Zimbabwe UK Chief Executive Marshall Gore. Now, Marshall, thank you for joining us, and maybe just to begin with, what are your thoughts about the draw which placed Zimbabwe in Group B alongside Senegal, Malawi and Guinea?
I think it's a very fair draw. When you look at the teams that we have, I think obviously we have Senegal, which has got a lot of pedigree in the group. Suffice to say that I think Guinea and Malawi are teams that I think given our experience in the tournament, I think we should be able to be favourites when we play against them. So I actually think that it's practically possible for us to get second spot in that group. But we have to be serious with our preparations, and that's the thing which is important. So it's very easy for us to be optimistic, but at the same time we have to be practical.
A lot has been said about Zimbabwe never having qualified for the knockout phase of AFCON. How realistic are our chances?
Francis, if we look back now, this is the third time we've qualified for the AFCON on 3 consecutive occasions. So I think we are not minnows anymore at the tournament. So gone are the days that we can go there and say we are just here to celebrate being there. I think it's right about time now where our experience should count and give us results. So I think if we don't qualify for the knockout stages, this campaign will be a disaster. So I think we have the experienced players and we have the experience as a nation as well at being at such tournaments. So even from an administration point of view, there's no excuses now. We know how to prepare. We've been on tournaments before, so we cannot continue to make the same mistakes as well. And also for the players, I think this is not a learning phase because most of the players that are in the team, they were probably in Egypt in 2019 as well. So they have the experience. So I think it's high time that we set the level slightly higher for ourselves and say we have to make it to the group stages without no doubt.
Now, the last 2 AFCON tournaments have been characterized by mayhem within the Warriors camp, with issues relating to allowances and bonuses coming to the fore on the eve of the competition. What really needs to be done ahead of the tournament in January?
I think we need to plan ahead. We need a clear plan, and the plan has to start today. So we must have a clear plan in terms of, from a football perspective, we must have a clear plan in terms of what sort of friendlies are we going to play. I think we should play friendlies in Europe, at least 2 friendlies in Europe, with high-profile teams that can give us a chance to really assess the progress of our team. It's no point playing minnows in friendlies again. So I think we must play friendlies in Europe. And why do I say we need to play friendlies in Europe? Playing friendlies in Europe will give also the home-based players an opportunity to have an exposure, so that when they go to the tournament, they don't have stage fright because they've been to Europe and they've played. So I think playing 2 friendlies in Europe will boost the morale of our team, and it will help us also to have a good assessment from a logistical point of view. With regards to the administrative side of the game, I think again we need a plan in terms of the finances, the budget, how much is required to prepare the team, how much is required to give incentives to the players. All this needs to be put down, written clearly, and there's a clear objective to know exactly where the resources are going to come from. There's so much time between now and January to put everything in place. And like you have said, if Ziva has to go and approach corporates, they must go and approach corporates, but they must be clear and decide with regards to what help do they want. If they have to work with government, they have to go and work with government. But they have to do those engagements now. They don't have to wait until January to start having those discussions. Engagement of key stakeholders is fundamental. It must start now, and everybody must know what is happening so that there's no element of surprise.
You've been instrumental in getting some UK-based players to represent Zimbabwe. Do you believe there's room for other talent from the UK that has not yet featured for the Warriors?
I think my view, Francis, is that we need a strong team to represent us at the AFCON in January. So my view is that the best players that are fit at the time should be included in the squad. And this is irrespective of where they are. We need a Warriors without borders. We cannot limit or restrict ourselves to say the guys that played in the qualifying game against Botswana should be the ones that play. There's been time now. We're talking of almost 6-7 months now from the last game we played against Botswana. There are injuries. People have lost form. So for me, a good program is where players are picked on merit, irrespective of where they are best. If they're best in the UK, they're playing for their clubs, they're on top form, then they should represent their country. If they're playing back home and they're doing well, or they're playing in South Africa and they're doing well, then they should be afforded the opportunity to represent the country. So we need the best team in January, not on the basis of location or not on the basis of that they're homegrown or they're what. We just need the best team from the Zimbabwean professional footballers that we have at hand to represent our country.
Now, there hasn't been any football to talk about back home owing to the COVID pandemic. How much of a disadvantage is this for local-based players that may want to challenge for a place in the AFCON squad?
I think it's a challenge, and it's not a challenge that is facing Zimbabwe alone, but I think it's a challenge that is facing us and other countries that will be competing against. My view is that we have a fantastic opportunity of the diversity that we have now of a lot of players that we have that are based in the diaspora and not necessarily the UK. I think we have players even in the US now. So yes, it's a good opportunity. If we have players that are active and playing in competitive leagues, yes, they should be considered for the national team. But the other thing I would say also is that for the homegrown players, it's also an opportunity that if domestic football is suspended, then Ziva should get a special dispensation for the players that are eligible for the national team. They can go in camp and even come and tour the UK. We will support them to have training camps here. And this will help to ensure that we are fully prepared. So there are solutions to the problem, but it's about the ideas that we are going to apply to the challenge that we are facing. So my view would be that if Ziva can get in touch with us, we are able to support with even organizing a training camp here so that the local players that are inactive in Zimbabwe can come here and play competitive friendlies because football is open here. So that's another option we have. They could also look at even going into the Middle East to do a similar thing. So there are options, but what we cannot afford to do is to look at our problem and meditate and focus on the problem. We have to look at solutions. The solutions are that we can organize training camps for the players in other regions so they can come in the UK or go in the Middle East to have training camps, and then it gives them enough game time if they play friendlies in those countries. It's something that we are prepared to help here as Team Zimbabwe UK. We've made this offer to Ziva so many times. We are here to assist the country. So if they need us, then we can come and support with facilitating a training camp in Europe. I think that is much needed.
Well, thank you very much, Marshall. So that was Marshall Gore, who was just sharing his thoughts on the AFCON draw and Zimbabwe's prospects in Cameroon. Join us after the break as we take a look at Zimbabwe's opponents in Cameroon. Join us shortly. Welcome back to Football Arena, where the major highlight is the AFCON draw conducted in Cameroon yesterday. Now, just to move away from the Warriors, we give you a feature in which we take a look at the teams which Zimbabwe will be coming up against in Cameroon.
Following years of playing second fiddle to other West African football powerhouses, namely Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana and Nigeria for the greater part of the 20th century, Senegal grew in leaps and bounds to establish itself as the new powerhouse in Africa. Senegal powered to the quarterfinals in their debut FIFA World Cup in South Korea and Japan, asserting their supremacy. Since then, they asserted their dominance, topping the African charts in the previous two FIFA rankings, including the latest released last Thursday. Although they rule the continent, the West Africans are yet to lift the Africa Cup of Nations trophy despite playing in 15 editions of the tournament. Their best performance was at the 2002 tournament in Mali, where they lost 3-2 on penalties to Cameroon in the final after the game had ended in a scoreless draw before another silver medal finish in 2019, losing 1-0 to Algeria in Egypt. Senegal has qualified 16 times for the AFCON event and have been a regular participant for the past 9 editions since 2000. The West African nation meets Zimbabwe, Guinea and Malawi in Group B in next year's extravaganza in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Senegal, who are the favourites to top the group, have met the Warriors twice in this competition, beating them 2-0 in the group stage in 2006 in Egypt, with goals coming from Henry Camara and Issa Ba, before dismissing them in identical fashion at the 2017 edition in Frankville, Gabon. Skipper Sadio Mane and Henry Saivet were a nemesis for the Warriors on that very day, as the Lions of Teranga went on to top the group, which also had Tunisia and Algeria. Guinea makes a return to the AFCON tournament for the second consecutive time after their 2019 campaign ended in the round of 16. The country has participated in 13 editions of the Premier Continental Football Showpiece since making their debut in 1957, and the 2021 tournament will be their 14th. Their best record came at the 1976 tournament, which was hosted by Ethiopia, when they finished as runners-up while Morocco won the Fiesta. Guinea has never played Zimbabwe at the AFCON tournament, but the two sides met twice in the qualification round between 2015 and 2016, where Guinea won one of the two ties, with the other ending in a 1-0 draw at Rufaro Stadium. Just like Zimbabwe, Guinea has neither won the Africa Cup of Nations nor qualified for the FIFA World Cup. The Flames of Malawi do not have a rich history in as far as the Africa Cup of Nations is concerned, having qualified for the tournament on 3 occasions, including next year's Cameroon showpiece. Grouped alongside Senegal, Guinea and Zimbabwe in Pool B, the Flames, who come as the underdogs and the lowest ranked team, need to be adequately prepared to match their opponents. Otherwise, they are destined to be knocked out in the group stage if the latest FIFA rankings are anything to go by. Malawi has never met Zimbabwe in any AFCON tournament, but the two sides have battled it out in the qualifying round during 2015 and 2016, with the latter winning the other major en route to booking a ticket to the Premier tournament.
Now, to cap off our maiden show, we look at what has been happening on Twitter in our look at social media. Well, in one of the tweets we managed to pick up, reacting to the AFCON draw, Martin Chingachirere wrote, "Zimbabwe getting a fair draw. We are in a group where we have a huge chance to proceed to the knockout stages. Our preparations, as on many occasions, will determine how we'll fare. We need government support at KST Coventry, as it is our national pride at stake. All the best, Warriors." Now, in another tweet, veteran broadcaster Steve Vickers wrote, "It's a pretty good AFCON 2021 draw for Zimbabwe. Senegal will be tough, but the Warriors managed a draw against Guinea and 2 wins over Malawi in 2017 qualifying. A win and a draw likely to be enough to make it to the knockout stage. Avoiding Cameroon, Algeria and Egypt is a plus." Now let's just see other tweets around the Warriors campaign. Well, on that note, we have come to the end of this maiden edition of Football Arena. We do certainly hope you enjoyed the show. For feedback, feel free to send your comments, which we will definitely go through as we strive to improve the show. From myself, Francis Nyamtsamba, and the Zim SoccerNet family, it's bye for now.